on you.
Pulled up.
What was that again? Tequila?
Tequila. A Deleon. By Diddy.
Whack.
Cheers, my brother. Definitely, man. Spigg Nice. He here, the legendary group member of the Lost Boyz. So I mean, let's start from the beginning, man. Like, how did this legacy started? Like, it's, with you.
With me, well,
Mm-hmm.
even down here, me and my man Eddie Blandon, we always was acting like we was DJs and MCs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Even though I touched it before, like in the 70s, but I came down here in the 80s. That's when we was really like looking at shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit was out. Fat Boys and Run DMC, and LL and all that stuff was out. So, you know, we was into hip hop. But basically, fast forward, I left from down here because I wanted to get some music. I wanted to do music.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was down here, I was in the band and all that other shit. No disrespect.
Yeah.
But I was in the band and shit, the marching band and shit. But, you know, I wanted to do some music. I played the trombone, by the way.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do music. I want to make music.
Okay.
So I went back home and just going to school and meeting people. And some of the dudes that I met, I didn't know what the fuck, but they was on some bully shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What you mean, like, what you mean, bully? Like bullying
we in
people?
We in the class, and they used to try to scare niggas up. Science class. It was big guys. Big Will was a little short. The big Will was a big nigga. Tobago and Drew and all them. The niggas was in science class and shit, so they used to try to catch me and shit like that. And I used to, you know, they'd get at motherfuckers and crack jokes and stuff like that. And I was witty. I cracked joke back at them, like, yo.
Yeah.
So it was like, this little new nigga, he got balls. So the niggas was trying to catch me. You know, class would make that big.
Right.
These are big, fat niggas and shit like that. Yeah, I'm like 16 years old. These niggas like 21, 22.
Oh my God.
They don't even belong in the school. But they was doing what they do in it. They was just at that nigga. I used to always have them niggas out of breath and shit like that.
Right.
Because they couldn't catch me in the room and shit. I'm through the desk and all that other shit. But they came up with my name, Spigg Nice, you know, from how fast I was, speedy. And
yeah.
Laverne Shirley had Squiggy had a black jacket, one of those joints and shit. So I had a jacket like that, but it was members only and shit. So
that's how you got the name.
Yeah, it was Spiggy. It was Squiggy and Speedy.
Right.
So they mix it up.
Mix it together, okay.
Spiggy.
Okay, I was always wondering how that came about. So that's how you got the name Spigg Nice.
Yeah. No, that's just Spiggy. And then
this is the Spiggy part.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then being around with later when I'm at Cheeks and all them and doing a lot of shit, you learning, you know, turntables and all that stuff. And I used to always get my behavior. I got the cleanness from down here. So when I used to go back up top and niggas used to always pick like, yo, why you ain't just throw that on the ground? I'm looking for a garbage can or some shit. That's the, you know what I'm saying? The cleanliness of down south compared to New York. They throw it. I used to throw shit in the ground and all that stuff, but I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Since I was down here, I learned a lot of different behaviors. So that's when Cheeks used to say, Spigg Nice, and then he was doing it on a mic and shit, and later on.
Okay.
So that was how I got my name, but like I said, I came from down here to go up there, met a couple of dudes and stuff like that, and the dudes that used to chase me around, unbeknownst to me, that they were DJs. So basically, I couldn't get no love from them niggas. But I found out later on they was DJ through one of my best friends that I met, and we became good friends. They all lived on 131st off Rockaway and shit like that. So every one of them had a different style. There was Drew and them and his brother, they with Drew and his brother, they did the hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tobago, and Tobago, I think he had a brother, but Tobago, he had the reggae and stuff like that,
Okay.
like Caribbean music and stuff like that. He used to mix that.
Okay.
And then Will and them, they used to do the R&B, disco and R&B and stuff like that. So, and they all lived on the same block, on the same side of the street and everything. I used to hate that block because that block it had the most kids and everything.
Yeah.
So it was the longest block in the neighborhood type shit. And it was I gotta get off the bus and go down there. And the other niggas was chasing me on the other side of the street and shit like that. I used to get at them, but the niggas used to get it, the big niggas. But like I said, unbeknownst to me, TC squashed this shit with us and shit. That's my man. This and that. And his brother does house music. Okay. So there was like 4 different things, you know what I'm saying? All on the same side of the street and everything. They only live 2 houses.
That you was hearing constantly.
So they always had different shit going and shit like that. So basically, I went to DJ and shit like that. I grew up DJing. Mine, music equipment. Right. So I got my shit together, got some equipment. It's a starter kit. Did that. And basically learned from them dudes, those different styles. Like, you know, the club music, the house music. Okay. The rap, the R&B, and the Caribbean. So it was 4 different types of joints. I might go to this house, or whatever like that. And doing that shit, and having the ear for the music and shit, because you was blending and stuff like that. Queens niggas, they be blending and shit like that. So hearing different dudes, Grandmaster Vic and DeWitt and all them niggas blending music and stuff like that. So it was like, all right, let me rock this shit. Let me try to master this shit. So basically, I did it. I was doing it, and then Cheeks and shit. Cheeks and them used to be in the basement of the lunchroom, school and shit, cut class or whatever like that. And I just started learning how to cut class because there ain't no cutting class down this way.
Right.
Class when I was
yeah.
Like, where you been? Nigga, you live on a dirt road back there. Nigga, you ain't cutting no class. None of that shit.
Nowhere to
None
go.
of that. There's nothing you could do. But somewhere, though. I learned after that. I learned that. Oh, shit. But I used to cut class in the school, shit like that. Be in the lunchroom playing cards, or niggas being back rapping and shit like that, ciphers and shit. So I came up on the scene beatboxing and pen on, something on the table, making a beat off a table or some shit like that. Because it was one, the chair with the desk and shit. So niggas used to just take turns and shit like that. And I had some good shit and shit, you know what I'm saying? I had beats and shit in my head. For some reason, I don't know, but I always had that rhythm. So, boom, we just got together after school and something like that. I told niggas I got music equipment. We could come down and shit, write some rhymes or whatever. So niggas used to come down here and there. But they noticed me more because I was the dude that had the truck. First I had the car, the Camaro, Trans Am actually. Had that shit, and then came around with the Jeep. And it was like at a time that only drug dealers had Jeeps or something.
Right.
Or a white man had Jeeps. I came with the different Jeep. I ain't had a Wrangler or the Pathfinder. So I had a Zuzu Trooper.
The Troopers back then was tough looking.
Yeah. And it was just like, now everybody got these shits.
Yeah.
Everybody started getting them. But, and that was like 86, some shit like that, 86, 87.
Okay.
Model. So, with the system and all that other shit, and like I said, going to school with different cars and stuff like that, because me and my brother Lace and shit, besides Mike, that was my crimey and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like brothers and shit.
So this is in Queens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Queens, okay.
Queens, yeah, Rockaway, off Rockaway. Man, 131. So, basically, just getting the music and started, yo, come to the basement, come to the basement. Getting Cheeks to come in the basement, and we doing this. Mike Talik come through sometimes, because Talik was he was rapping. He could jump in a cipher, but more like back in them days was your mama jokes.
Right.
And Talik used to, y'all could be, me and you could be going at each other and shit like that. And Talik could come in and just get on both of us at the same time with the rhythm and shit like that. So niggas was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So he used to come and heat both of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And have a crowd around him. So, you know, sometimes he'd jump in the cipher or some shit like that with the rest of the cats. And niggas just be blinded, you know what I'm saying? Getting that shit, getting together. Then, like I said, we come to the basement or some shit like that. We making little tapes or something like that. I got break beats and all that shit. So we've been getting it in. We got it in for a while, and then we just started elevating the name, because we used to be the Stay Fresh Crew. And
Stay Fresh Crew?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Rockaway Boulevard Crew. Shit like that. And then we became the Lost Boyz. Born King was the original Lost Boy when he came out with it.
Okay. So what did, like, how did he come up with that? Was it a conversation of, like, do we need to come up with a name for a group, or
he was a different cat in the hood. He wasn't with us like that in the hood. He had his own crew.
So it was more or less of a family type of name, not a rap game.
It was more or less a neighborhood.
Neighborhood name.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, got you.
But it was like crew. Born had a little couple of cats with him, and he's named him Lost Boy. He was trying to get everybody that he liked into his crew.
Right, yeah.
And after that, you know what I'm saying, me and him had this, he's my co-defendant. Me and him had this conversation in the jail, like I was telling him, like, because my other co-defendant would ask this question. How did y'all become Lost Boyz? How you got Lost Boyz? And he said he got the Lost Boyz. I said, he forgot that. We was on the boulevard one Saturday at in front of 96. And he used to get locked up. So when he come back, he seen us together. We always together, and then we got other niggas. We had a handshake. And that handshake spread it and spread it and spread it and spread it. Every time he go away and come back, he see more and more dudes. So you go down Jamaica Ave by the Coliseum. We got to give our dat like a pound, but it's bigger than a pound. Like you see NBA doing handshakes now. Stuff like that. Besides a lot of other shit. You know what I'm saying? We had our own. This was before all this handshaking and this and that, and gangs doing all this and that. They might have done it, but it wasn't over in the East Coast. And shit
right.
So we had gangs. I mean, we had handshakes and shit since the 80s, since 80s.
Right.
86, 87. Well, 86, really. But we was just blowing, and Born was like, yo, y'all running around here like some Lost Boyz and this and that and the third. I said, yeah. I like that. That's what we're going to be. That's what we're going to tag. But he can't remember. But he was like, he don't remember that.
He don't remember that.
And then he's like, well, I'm going to make the top 10. And that was like the debate right there me and my Cody's had in the room. Like, so how the hell, if you don't remember that, how you just come up with top 10? You just didn't come up. If you was Lost Boyz, there was no top 10.
Yeah.
But now that somebody's doing something, now it's, let me break off and be the top 10. So that's how he got top 10 Lost Boyz and stuff like that. And I said, my Lost Boyz, my section of the Lost Boyz took the name and went worldwide. Yours was not as big as ours and shit. So, I mean, we all Lost Boyz and shit like that. So, it's love and love. But in the music thing, we started using that as, you know, who we are.
Right.
And that was like identification of where you at. Because if you say Lost Boyz at that time, you know you was from outside of the boulevard or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Amongst us.
Okay.
Lincoln Park and all that other shit. Linden and Rockaway. But as time goes, niggas get bigger and shit get more sad. Every summer, motherfuckers from down south, wherever they coming from, come to New York.
From New York.
And they be wanting to be down with shit. So they go through initiation.
I feel you. Okay. When y'all started to, do music, and you mentioned Talik, coming in the cypher, Cheeks, being the main rapper. Like, when y'all decided to do, these are the guys that would just come to the basement, come to your house.
It was not them. It was like in our school, we had a lot of guys and shit. We had a lot of dudes that rap. So sometimes we be having a whole look. We got, with our immediate crew at that time, it was me, Cheeks, Lou, Green Eyes, me, Cheeks, Lou, Green Eyes, Talik, Baby Mass, a couple of cats, you know what I'm saying?
These are all original members of the Lost Boyz.
Basically.
Okay, that rapped?
Yeah.
Okay, or was just members?
No, that's us right there. That's like more or less a core.
Okay.
But all of us could do it except but.
So, like, when y'all started to, do music, and you mentioned Talik, coming in the cypher, Cheeks, being the main rapper. Like, when y'all decided to do, these are the guys that would just come to the basement, come to your house.
It was not them. It was like in our school, we had a lot of guys and shit. We had a lot of dudes that rap. So sometimes we be having a whole look. We got, with our immediate crew at that time, it was me, Cheeks, Lou, Green Eyes, me, Cheeks, Lou, Green Eyes, Talik, Baby Mass, a couple of cats, you know what I'm saying?
These are all original members of the Lost Boyz.
Basically.
Okay, that rapped?
Yeah.
Okay, or was just members?
No, that's us right there. That's like more or less a core.
Okay.
But all of us could do it except but Lou. I ain't gonna say Lou could rap because Lou ain't a rapper.
Right.
Like that.
Okay.
But everybody can rap and shit like that, and they had their own styles and shit like that.
Got you. And did you know at this time that Buffy from the Fat Boys was your cousin, was related to you?
I heard that he was my cousin through my actually, I didn't just hear it. My aunt told me.
Okay.
And they was doing their run. This is early 80s. This is when I was living down here.
Right.
My aunt took me fishing, and she was telling me, because she's a Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
His aunt. My aunt is his aunt. So,
right, exactly.
And she told me one time when we was fishing, in some hole, in some fishing hole somewhere in the woods and shit like that. And I was like, yeah.
Cousins from the Fat Boys.
I was like, all right. But I met him once when I moved to Queens. We was in front of Kennedy Fried Chicken. We was on the boulevard, and a big blue Benz pulled up on the opposite side, on our side, on the 31st side, and I was like, oh shit. And that shit was big with hammer rims and all that shit.
Right.
Hey, man, that shit was nice. The electric blue, that attracted me because I love that blue. I went right over. I was like, yo, I jumped off the motherfucking garbage can.
What's
shit.
that?
I was like, yo, what's up, man? We walked over there, and the chick got out the joint. We looked at her. We got on the sidewalk, looked back like, who's in this motherfucker? You know, niggas gonna look.
Yeah.
So niggas looked around, looked through the windshield, like, look like a fat boy nigga got out and shit. So, what's up, y'all? I was like, all right, what's up? And I ain't really wanted to say with it.
Right.
Niggas was saying this and that, and they're Lost Boyz over here. You know what I'm saying? How the young niggas marking their turtles like they something and shit. So he was going, the chick came back out, shit like that. I was like, yo, I think we related or some shit. I said some shit like that. He said, all right.
That was some deep related because y'all all the way up in New York, but y'all roots are here in South
I
Carolina.
know where they live,
So
see, because we lived in Queens and he was living in Queens off Brookville or something.
Uh-huh.
There's a path that like maybe like the bus or some shit goes by, or if you drive and you go another block and just. He lived off that joint because you always see the bins in front of the house and shit.
Okay.
Like not all the time, it be there at times and shit, so you know that the nigga lived there. That was when I wake going to sunrise and shit like that. But yeah, we ain't never get to kick it or nothing like that.
Okay.
But you know,
so moving past that, like you were saying, like y'all formed the group Lost Boyz, right? So when y'all decided to
exactly at that moment,
not at that moment,
because before we all got involved, before it came to how we became, me and Cheeks was doing things.
You and Cheeks was doing things.
Yeah, we had well, Cheeks had a manager, some lady, Miss Barbara, think he was hitting, but she was doing a little funding and shit like that. She took us and went to the Brooklyn Bridge, Brooklyn or Manhattan Bridge. Was taking pictures and stuff like that. You might see some black and white pictures where we had the Apple joint hat, Applejack hats and some shit like that. We had our little shit. Might have the contacts at the time because I had contacts when they came out. The color.
Right. You had the color joints.
I was getting money. I was doing my thing, and you know, me and Cheeks was doing it. He was like the MC, I was the DJ. That's when Cheeks was on his Black Man thing.
Yeah, was that the positive rap?
Yeah, that was
time.
Hell yeah,
I was doing
niggas
that
had
time.
The anchors and niggas had the African medallion.
What inspired that type of rapping at that moment?
What do you mean?
Like what inspired y'all to go into that type of like
I mean, that was what's going on
at that time. Yeah,
that's
Public Enemy time.
Well, nah, before that.
That was before that era.
Because that era came in the original crack era.
Okay.
That was like just about 84, 85, 86, some shit like that. And everybody had, that's when niggas had gold chain, niggas had money.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of money.
Yeah.
Some type of money. That motherfucker $250 little.
Yeah.
That shit cost. Y'all don't understand. The 80s money was.
80s money was different, right?
Yeah. $250 or some shit for one of
That's
them.
a lot.
Hell yeah, that was
in the 80s, baby.
That was like you almost made it. Niggas ain't had no diamonds like that back in the days and shit like that.
Gold.
They ain't even make them type shits like that. Gold, nigga.
Okay.
But, I mean, niggas had style.
So in that time, the era was just like on some pro-black, like positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fight the power type of thing. Like
yeah, it was more or less
for our
black
neighborhood.
shit. I mean, you had the black fist, you had the African. You know, it was good. It was a great time. It was a great beginning.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, a lot of shit was going on, and that was like money was plentiful. When I say money was plentiful, like with $1, nigga could get a meal.
Yeah, a whole meal.
You know what I'm saying? Bag of chips and drinks and candy and.
That's what things called cents. Then, then you get 25 cents, you get this can of soda, and this other 25 cents, you get this big bag of chips.
50 cents, nigga. You gotta know it.
You know what I mean?
So with that, I mean, niggas had money.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was making some money. I was with my little crew, my little Backstreet crew at the time. We used to steal cars and bikes and shit like that. Drug dealer shit, all types of shit. And we making money. Now I'm talking hella money. And we wasn't even, I ain't gonna say we wasn't even smart enough, but we wasn't even thinking about chop shops and all that other shit like that.
Right.
We used to get the shit, take what we gonna take, and then dump that shit around the corner. And then shit, I remember Crazy Eddie. He used to be always on commercial with all stacked up tape decks and all that shit.
Yeah.
Nigga, I took a picture of my shit with. My shit was just like his.
Yeah.
It had EQs and blah plunks and Kenwood had all types of shit all over the place on the bar in the basement. You got tires, I got tires and all types of shit. That's what we was doing. Oh, you wanna go to the back? I got bikes and all types.
Everything. You had a little pawn shop.
What? We had it all. So I used to steal shit and sell it back to niggas and shit like that.
Okay. Get bread.
Yeah. So that's how I was getting money. And then we had our homies that worked at the airport. You know, the airport is our background, our backyard. So my niggas used to work at National Car Rentals and rental spaces. So we had all them new shits that was coming out. We might have them for extended time. We ain't paying.
Yeah.
But just to open the gate. Or something like that, if that's the case. Man. We got rims on rentals and systems on rentals and shit like that. All types of shit. We was doing up them shits and shit like that.
Okay.
But we was doing our thing.
So that was the time. So when did y'all add on to?
Okay. With me and Cheeks doing our little 1-2s and shit like that.
Right.
Local talent shows or something like that. But more Talik and them come around taking it serious and talking to Talik about, yo, man, you should do this, you should do that. Or come on with me, come to the basement, practice and shit like that. Because Talik could freestyle, even back then. He could freestyle and keep going and going and going.
Going and going.
And don't remember shit. Not none. So I had to I gave him a mini tape recorder and shit like that. When you still rhyming, just turn that on. Keep that in your pocket. Don't take it out of your pocket. But to switch it to another pair of pants. And we wear hard for about 2-3 days. For about 4 days, if that. So you ain't switching nothing. But that was later. But he just kept trying to remember and shit like that. That was his only thing. He could freestyle. Cheeks could freestyle and write.
Right.
I could freestyle and write. You know what I'm saying? So we just was trying to get Talik up because if Green Eyes was freestyling or Baby Mass or whatever, niggas is freestyling. Talik could freestyle, but when it comes time to writing something down, everybody could do it. So
right.
Talik. So I'm trying to teach him to memorize his shit because he don't be writing shit down. But the more we kept coming to the basement and shit like that, we was doing it. We took Green Eyes at the high school, like me and Cheeks. Like niggas was in 11th grade. I came down in the 10th grade. In 11th grade, after we finished, that was it. Green Eyes, we took Green Eyes. He wanted to go to college. So we took him to Atlanta. Moved his stuff, and he moved him down to Atlanta. So that was one. And Baby Mass, I don't know where Baby Mass went. He just disappeared or some shit. I don't know what happened.
Still to this day?
Yeah, I don't know where to this day.
Okay.
So,
if you out there, Baby Mass.
Baby Mass.
Holla.
Yeah. It was basically left to us, me, Cheeks, Lou, and Talik.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Green Eyes went down south. So, and J. Raff came. But we was just basically trying to get some shit going on. Practicing in the basement, making tapes and shit like that now with more niggas. Or we go to the block parties or park jams and shit like that. And we always repping Lost Boyz. If we go to clubs, house parties, whoever, we repping. And I was extra, I'd be riding the trains and shit like that. And I'm tagging. And I got still write graffiti, hip hop. I'm tagging that shit all over trains and anywhere we go.
Okay.
At first it was with the S. Then I just was like thinking and shit like that, and I changed the S to a Z. And that was how we just started spelling it.
Okay.
That's
So first the Boys was with an S.
Yeah.
And then y'all said, let's
Changed
just do the Z.
with the Z. And I was just tagging with the Z first. And so I just said something fast. But it was with the S and it was with the Z. But for us, it was with the Z damn near immediate. But we was with the LOSTBOYS.
Okay.
But I changed it. And that change right now has changed the world.
Yeah.
It's still going.
Okay.
Everybody just using it. That shit is on everything. Like I said, change
It's
the world.
everything. No, it's
Everything.
it's stamped.
Nobody don't put no damn S's on shit.
Nah,
See,
facts.
I
They
see
took
it on
the
TV.
S off facts and put the Z on it.
Yeah, I see it on TV and I done seen it all over the place. Now niggas use Z's.
Z, yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
So that's dope. Y'all changed it. You changed the S to the Z.
Mm-hmm.
That's when y'all did you like? That's when y'all was getting ill with it. I feel like
we was going everywhere, doing everywhere. And the more we went places, the more popularity we got.
Yeah.
The more of that, more following. If we had followers back then, you know what I mean? Follow you.
If the internet was popping back then, y'all would have been popping.
What? And that was just for the name.
Yeah, because y'all was going around the neighborhood. Y'all was going around the neighborhood of Queens or just all around New York.
We go to everywhere because I was driving. So
right.
I got girls and
every barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we was everywhere. We wasn't not Staten Island, but we was going that way. But anywhere in the regular 5 on this land, we was there. And going to the parties, and I was throwing parties. I was throwing house parties, backyard parties. My house parties was it was a duplex house, so it was upstairs and in the basement. You just can't go on the level. Man, I had the house, the basement party, the backyard party. Man, my parties was something that you needed to be at. And I was going to different boroughs, so you had different boroughs coming to my house. My backyard was that big. So we was just getting our name, getting it. Everybody keep hearing Lost Boyz, Whenever we come, it's either y'all niggas gonna be fighting or y'all niggas gonna be fucking partying.
Yeah.
Wind up partying, then they go.
Then fight at the end.
Oh yeah, you gonna party first. And it's just that niggas just don't like our popularity.
Yeah.
So we had other crews that popped up with us and shit like Young Guns and stuff like that. NBC, Newborn Criminals, or Nothing But Criminals. There's a lot of shit. But to backtrack a little bit, we was since school, we was really, really popular. We was getting more popular when we left school.
Mm-hmm.
I went back. Me and Cheeks went back. And we got, it was Shima was about to do a new program.
Mm-hmm.
And we was there. It was the first in New York for the 5 boroughs and shit like that. So I only needed a few credits. And I was passing, I could get my high school diploma. And shit
okay.
like that. So I did it. Me, Cheeks, and my girl, Sabrina, had done it. Well, I did it. Cheeks and Sabrina, they needed more credits and stuff, but it only lasted me a year. And then that year, we started going out of town and shit like that. And then meeting other niggas and shit like that. But Cheeks got Ralu to go to... Ralu got his GED.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck around. And got Cheeks' GED. Took the test for Cheeks and shit, so...
Okay.
That's how he got his shit, too. So...
Pulled it off.
Yeah. So... I don't know what Talib got. I forgot. But, we just started moving around. Going out of town and this, that, and the third. Hanging out and met some guys and shit like that. Cheeks always meet motherfuckers. So he met our big brothers when they was out of town and shit. They was in Virginia Beach, out there in Norfolk and shit like that. So
Okay.
Cheeks was about to battle one kid, a nigga from that was down there, but he's from the Bronx, and that's how Cheeks. Basically, his name was hit, and that's how Tim Dog basically found him, or something like in that name. They was gonna battle outside in the parking lot. He's like, "Yo, why don't y'all go to the studio and make a song?" And some shit like that. And they went and did "Money in the Murder." Van Dam.
That was the name of the song?
Yeah.
Money in the Murder?
Yeah.
And that was what? With who?
This was maybe like 91. It was Hitman.
It was for a mixtape or something?
Nah, they were just doing a song.
Okay.
Nigga, Tim put him in the studio. Somebody put him in the studio and they just did that joint.
That's what I think I remember. Tim Dog put me down. Something like that he said on the record.
Oh, yeah. Tim Dog. That's Tim Patterson. That's not the fuck you Compton Tim Dog.
Right.
That's Tim Dog. He was with Christopher Williams. You know, he was doing all that Heavy D and all that shit.
Okay.
That's when they was in Uptown, helping with Uptown and shit like that.
So they recorded that song. It was just Cheeks on that song.
Cheeks and Hitman.
Hitman, okay. And then so y'all felt like, yo, we need to do this rap thing.
Well, we didn't know I didn't know, you know, I was in New York and Cheeks and Lou and them was down south.
Oh, okay.
They went down there and then they came back, you know, they was traveling. We might come up there, yo, it's all good down there. Everybody go down there, hang out in the stand at
This was VA down south or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So niggas was running back and forth and doing this. Especially with the niggas that we had. And then we had our girls. We had girls down there. You know. But we was taking care of. And we used to have a good time.
Yeah.
Our big brothers, unbeknownst, were them big brothers. Those niggas was like meeting them. At this time, them niggas was them niggas. But we thinking, you know, you just going with the flow, how our shit going. Yo, them niggas, yo, let's go. Bucking them.
Okay.
So we out of here. And then me and Tim one day spoke because he was getting to know more of me. You know what I'm saying? Because we, you know. And he was like, yeah, I know. We went to a Rutgers game. And he's like, yeah, I see a lot of the music should go through you and shit like that. Because a lot of time you hear Cheeks, you hear me scratching or, you know, like we practice and I let him hear practice songs and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, this and that and third, I want to see what's up. He said, I want y'all to get y'all a deal on Uptown. So I was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? That's the day that the Ultima brand came out and shit. He had one of those shits when it first came out.
The Ultima?
Yeah.
So that was the Ultima first premiere, like the first
Ultima.
Yeah, the first Ultima. So y'all saw that?
Yeah. Cause I was like, I want that shit. Then when I got in that shit, I was like, this shit.
These songs.